Josh Wilcox played at Oregon 1992 through 96, redshirted 92, lettered 93 through 96.
Josh was a hard-working dude, man. I mean, he is the symbol of 94, 95 teams. He's part of that, what we were as players, athletes, persons, and everything else. Wow. But that's Josh. He's fired. Josh is fired. That one word, Josh is fired.
Intense. One-liners, quote machine. But intense, definitely intense.
Josh was probably the most unique guy that I've ever played with. Unique, extremely unique.
Josh was definitely, when the camera was on him, he was a different personality.
I think it was in the genes that Josh was going to be a great Oregon player, and came back to haunt me when I was coaching for other teams.
The first guy was not going to tackle him, busted his ass in the weight room. Warrior.
Basically, came down to Oregon State. That's where my two offers were, and I tripped to Cal, and then I went to Oregon State. Took that trip. I wanted to play offense. Coach Pettibone and Brady Hoke, coach of Michigan, really sold me on playing linebacker. Just wanted to play offense at Oregon. Coach Sheffield, Coach Greatwood, and Coach Brooks. So I mean, it kind of ended up. While I gave Oregon State serious thought, and I don't mind him as bad as some people. I enjoyed it, and I went to Oregon, and I mean the best thing worked out for me. Not only just football, but life. So I mean, I met a lot of friends and had a great experience.
So.
I mean, I think I use that as motivation. I think a lot of people, for me personally, I always took it as, I used it as motivation to prove people wrong that, hey, he got a scholarship because of his dad's name, he's from a small high school. Then my brother, was a much better athlete, had better success. And so for me, it was a way to just kind of, I always took pride in it too, though, because, my father was a great football player, so that's something, and there's other decisions or whatever, you screw up, you're a kid or whatever, but I think at the same time, it's like you have to think about that, because people are always looking at you a different way, no matter what. And I mean, you learn, at a young age, you learn to deal with that, and so I use it as motivation to prove people wrong. And then, I was kind of, those terms, overachiever, first, all those things, but I use that as fuel for the fire.
Right.
Well, you had a lot of big play. Kenny's play is kind of the game. If you look at any play history of Oregon football, that play, if the ball goes through his hands, it's different. We're not talking about, it is. It literally, if he doesn't make it, if he doesn't jump that route, talking different, because that set off the whole wheels in motion. You have to have a big event. You have to have something. I think there was a lot of, like I said, a lot of young guys. I was the only guy as a sophomore to start every game on offense. We had a couple guys. Mark Gregg, I want to say, started 9 or 10. So we had a lot of sophomores. Cameron Ricketts was playing a lot. We had some true freshmen step up. And I think there was kind of a blue-collar lunch pail mentality. Mark Schmidt as well, Bryant Jackson. That it was just, screw it, we're just going to play. And I think, we made opportunistic plays. Our defense was fantastic. Washington, we march down, have a great drive. They come marching down quick. Kenny makes a great play on, jumps a route. But why did he jump the route? Because he'd been watching film, because he'd been doing the right things, because we had momentum. All those factors. It wasn't just because he made a play.
Right.
It's all the time he put into that understanding. He listened to him talk about it. He understood that because he'd been watching film all week, and every time they set up in that formation, he jumped that route. Why did he? Well, it wasn't because he was out there. It's because he watched film. That's the takeaways, all the things behind it. And so I think there was a closeness in terms of losing that our redshirt freshman year, and kind of the vibe. And like you said earlier, the coaches, everything I've been told is that, the coaches were not so much told, but said, like, listen, it's,
if you don't win, you're out the door.
Yeah, get ready to put up the for sale signs.
Yeah. So
everybody, when that you get told it's kind of that or whatever, you figure out different ways to motivate. And does it get a little more intense? We hit more. Coach Brooks started Troy Bailey and I were in a one-on-one bull in the ring in the locker room before the Cal game. It's like, Wilcox, come here, Troy, come here. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, right here. I'm like, what? I mean, so it's just like, oh my god, you know what I mean? And I got guys fired up, so we found different ways to strike that emotion and just ran with it. Probably. I'd lie if I said it wasn't. I mean, I think, you know, I could go home and do laundry or whatever, but, you know, a lot of guys, where it's discipline. When you first start, it's going to class, and your first fall there is class, practice, you know how much time to goof off. And if you don't kind of get in a rhythm, some guys can get in trouble. And but yeah, I mean, it was so much easier for me, and maybe I could help guys out of where to go, or, you know, back roads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think, you know, everybody had the high of the pick the week before, right? And so that the next week's Arizona, which was ranked 12, 14, somewhere in there, and then they were the ones on Sports Illustrated. So you're like, all right, man, we can't be all high on this pick. We just beat Washington. Everybody else is jazzed up. What are we going to do next? And you know, they're awesome on defense. Coach Tomey, much respect for Coach Tomey. Mutual respect between the two programs. It was always going to be a dogfight. They had Desert Swarm. Teddy Bruschi was leading the conference in sacks as a junior. And so you're looking at all these factors. They played that little flex defense. We knew it was going to be tough. And then we knew our defense could stop them offensively. It was just a dogfight. It was kind of a dreary day. And you're right. I think everybody you come off that high from the Washington game, and then and then it's a dogfight. It's a heavyweight, and it's like 10th, 12th round. And for me, you know, we had an audible that if I saw this guy come on a called route, I'd cut it off a little bit, and I saw it perfectly. So again, we practiced, we drilled it in, we worked on it after practice, and it worked out in the game. And I think it was like a 580 sting or something, but I knew if this guy came off, I could cut it short to the corner. Danny put it right where it needed to be. I didn't drop it, and then, I mean, I just kind of remember up and just kind of being like, all right, man, you caught it. Because I'm slow motion, you kind of remember, okay, here it comes. And then I caught it. And then it's like, man, we got to stop. But I mean, yeah, catching the touchdown in Arizona and all that run for a kid that was a ball boy dreaming of doing that. Come on, man, you know. Well, I think, you know, you're going to Oregon, that's where you want to go. We got to the Rose Bowl, and here I am getting to play and be a sophomore. And just the whole, I just took it in. It was just kind of, you know, family and experience, and being considered leader, and all the ex-Ducks coming around and asking you, and because you knew them from when you ball boyed, and the connections and friends and network that my family and my experiences provide made me feel part of something very special, because I felt I was playing for all the old players that never got there. They were my buddies, or they looked at me as their little brother. Then that, and then going and doing playing Penn State, and you're playing Mr. Paterno, and you're playing in the Rose Bowl, and you're going to start, and practices, and the media stuff comes on you, and what do you want to do? I want to have a great game. Oh, he wants to wrestle and likes Metallica. Yeah, dude, why not? I mean, that's who I am. So I want to have a great game. I want them to say, you know, and so I was lucky to hit the zone that day, and Coach kept throwing me the ball, and Danny, you know, thought it was open, and that's just kind of, I think I was just so lucky to have that experience. And it's funny though, because it's always coming. I'm like, well, we should have won. Yeah, I was sick in the Civil War, fell over. I mean, I saw a guy kind of blitzing, so I kind of started to lean back. I was feeling crappy. I mean, just everything that could happen wrong did at that point. And yeah, but I mean, I redeemed myself the next play. I made a block for Dino. So, I mean, what do you want me to do? I didn't want Chris Mack to score, so I wanted Dino to score, because Dino was going to maybe buy me a 6-pack. Chris Mack could only buy me a 4-pack. So I decided to screw it up. And I wanted to add more drama for the TV people. I mean, during the time and falling over against Oregon State, you're not thrilled, but what am I going to do about it? And yeah. I could throw my helmet and spazzed out, which I probably would have done in practice, but man, it's in the game. I didn't feel right, and it's just, I remember I've talked to the guy across from me, Corey Hewitt, and I'm just like, that probably wasn't very good, huh? He's just like laughing across from me, and it's just like, well, you know, what do you want me to do? And I think Justin was different in the fact that, yeah, he had two shadows kind of to follow. He was his own athlete. He fit in perfectly with Oregon. I mean, everybody got along with him. He'd been around the team and the guys, so it was kind of a natural step. Yeah, in practice, we kind of squared up, but I mean, that was kind of backyard, and I think, he started as a quarterback, so we were doing that. He got switched to DB, and yeah, there was competition, but I mean, he was one of the dudes, so it was kind of different. It wasn't like little brother noogies all the time. He's one of the dudes. Let's go. You want to go eat pizza? Let's go. And he kind of just fit that role, which kind of, I think, you could tell at an early age he kind of got it and could fit into different things and was squared away and had a vision on kind of where he and what he was. I don't know. He had it. You could just tell early on he had it, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not even 40, and I've gotten to do pretty much everything I've wanted to do. Yeah, you go with the NFL dream. You go to the combine. You don't get drafted. You get cut. You start pro wrestling, which I'd always want to do, and I set all kind of that up and worked at Nike for a minute. Went over to Europe. Was Kurt Warner's roommate in Amsterdam. Came back. Played a couple weeks of arena football. Got called by the Saints. Last guy signed. Make the team. Get cut, put on practice squad, make the team the next year barely, again, and the final, my contract's up. It's like I know it's over. I can just tell, pretty much retire because I know it's like, why am I going to keep chasing this? I have to be in the perfect spot with Mike Ditka there, and that's not going to happen again. And goes try wrestle again, get a tryout with the Power WCW. Decided I'm going to go XFL, go there, win a championship. Last time I ever played football with pads on was I won a championship. XFL, whatever, but I got the checks cleared. I had a great time. A bunch of dudes that wanted to play football. What a way to go out. Yeah. Then I signed a contract with WWE, get a chance to do that. My body won't hold up. Go into corporate business, learn the skill set there, become a top 5 salesman within my company, then take on the radio thing, which is always something. So it's just, the evolution. It's just, I can't believe I didn't hit main event or Super Bowl and all the things, but to touch and do all the different things that I've done and met the people, I'm so lucky and just so, and it all kind of goes through Oregon and where I went and my friends, and as you kind of intermingle and your streams get intertwined, man, my streams turn into an ocean. Well, I think the couple memories is my first preseason game with the Saints. I ran down on a kickoff against the Packers, and I had to blow a guy up in a wedge, and it was Jeff Thomason. And I was like, oh man. I mean, I filled the wrong hole, but I did drill him. And he's like, Wilcox. And I was like, oh. I mean, it's like, oh man. But yeah, I mean, like Cam Cleveland and Ink Aliaga both played for the Huskies, were in the Saints when I was there. So it's like, and we'd have bets, and you get to know these guys from a different light, and you go through the Shrine Games and the All-Star Games with Jake Plummer and Keith Poole and Pat Barnes and Sarkisian at BYU, and who's now the coach at UW. And you get to know these guys on different levels, so it turns into that trash talk type of fun thing, and bets and stakes. And I'm sure I still owe Cam some money from way back when. I don't know. I think I lived I treated people, I mean, everybody goofs up, but for the most part, I treated people right. But at the same time, it just sounds weird, but I don't have a confidence that if my parents taught me the right thing, I know right from wrong. And so most times I think I'm going the right way. So it's like, do I worry what people, it's like that. I want people to think that this guy for sports just gave it everything he had, was a great teammate. If you need somebody in your foxhole, he's there. I'm not going to be polished, I'm not going to be a CEO, but you want somebody loyal, you want someone that'll take care of you, that you want a teammate, then that's me.